The Path of Shadows. Emma and Jack had always loved exploring the winding country roads of Vermont, especially during the crisp autumn months when the leaves set the world ablaze with color. That Sunday afternoon, they packed a picnic basket and set out for a secluded spot Jack had read about online, a forgotten hiking trail rumored to lead to a hidden waterfall. The trail was overgrown but beautiful, draped in moss and dappled sunlight. The couple held hands, laughing as they navigated fallen branches and the occasional muddy patch. They didn't notice the first sign, an old wooden marker, half-rotted and barely legible. "Turn back." "Probably just some local kids trying to spook people," Jack said with a wink. But Emma felt a chill down her spine. They pushed on, eventually reaching a clearing by a cold, silent pond. It was eerily still, the water black as ink. They spread their blanket and began to eat, though Emma's unease only grew. Jack tried to lighten the mood, telling silly ghost stories that made her smile. That's when they noticed him. A man in tattered clothes, standing on the edge of the clearing, staring. His eyes were sunken, and his mouth twitched into an unnatural grin. "Hello?" Jack called out. The man didn't respond. He took a step closer. Emma clutched Jack's arm. "Let's go," she whispered. Jack hesitated. Maybe he's lost. But the man kept coming. His movements were jerky, like a puppet's, and in his hand he carried something glinting. A hunting knife. Emma and Jack scrambled to their feet, adrenaline surging. They didn't bother to pack up the picnic. They ran, crashing through the undergrowth, the man's ragged breathing growing louder behind them. Branches whipped at their faces, thorns tore at their clothes. Emma's foot caught on a root, sending her sprawling. Jack pulled her up, his hands shaking. In the distance, they could see the faint shimmer of the trail's entrance, the promise of safety. But the man was faster than he looked. Suddenly, he lunged out of the darkness, tackling Jack to the ground. Emma screamed, grabbing a fallen branch and swinging it with all her strength. It connected with the man's temple, and he crumpled, motionless for the moment. Jack's face was pale, his breaths ragged. "Run!" he rasped. Together they sprinted back to the main road, not daring to look back until they reached the car. They drove in silence, hearts pounding. The image of the man's twisted grin burned into their minds. They never returned to that trail. But sometimes, in the quiet hours of the night, Emma would see that face in her dreams, waiting in the darkness, knife glinting, the promise of violence lurking just beyond the next bend in the path.